to the entertaining Talkin' Sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. Happy Halloween. Hope everybody gets all the candy they're looking for tonight. But in this video, I'm going to be previewing the Week 9 matchup between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Two bitter division rivals. Now, the New York Giants have not beaten this team since 2016, a year in which we swept them and went on to make the playoffs. The Cowboys, of course, only lost 3 games that year in the regular season, 2 of which came to the New York Giants. And these two teams, of course, met Week 1. The Cowboys embarrassed us 35-17. The positives that came out of that, even though it was a completely different offense, the New York Giants were able to move the football on them. You didn't have Golden Tate, and Eli Manning was the quarterback, but they had almost 500 yards of total offense. The problem was the defense could not stop them, and we didn't convert on third down. I think we were 2 for 11 in that game. But the offensive line was able to create running holes, no doubt about it, for Saquon Barkley. He tore them to shreds. And they had pretty good pass protection in that contest. So hopefully they could build off of that, and the offense could come out with Daniel Jones and have a strong game. Hopefully little Eli can get the job done, because that is, after all, the nickname that DeMarcus Lawrence coined to him. And some Giant fans look at that as a compliment. We love Eli. We know what he meant to this team. He won us 2 Super Bowls, 2 more Super Bowls than Tank Lawrence probably will ever have in his career. But Tank Lawrence over the last 3 or 4 years has ragged on Eli Manning. So to me, he was calling Daniel Jones out, but that's just the way I read it. Yeah, he later went on to say that Eli Manning's a Hall of Fame quarterback, blah, 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 but he knew what he was doing. And I hope Daniel Jones comes out motivated to take down the Dallas Cowboys in this contest. It will not be easy. The Dallas Cowboys have one of the better teams in football. They're 4-3. They don't have an impressive win to their name unless you count the Eagles game, in which they look great. They beat them 37-10. But other than that, they beat a Giants team with a debut game for an all-rookie defense. They beat the Washington Redskins, I believe, and I think the Miami Dolphins. They have not beat anybody impressive. And as Giant fans, we know the strength of this Dallas Cowboys team. Simple as that. They need to run the football to win games. And I never got the strategy that the Dallas Cowboys came out with this year. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You've got an all-world offensive line, you've got an all-world running back, and you've got a limited quarterback. I don't care what Cowboy fans tell me. Dak Prescott is a limited quarterback, and the numbers back it up. In the 26 games over the course of his career where he has thrown 30 passes or less, this team is 22-4. In games where he throws 31 or more passes, they are 14-15. 5 out of the first 6 games this year, they threw the ball 31 or more times, which is why they got off to a 3-3 start. They then I think they threw 26 or 27 times against the Philadelphia Eagles. They got back to their roots. They ran the football. And I expect the Cowboys to try to do that again this week. If they have any brains, that is what they will do against this New York Giants defense. Now, one thing I will say about this Giants defense, as poor as it has looked, as bad as it has been getting teams off the field on third down, the run defense has looked strong in recent weeks, especially last week against the Detroit Lions. It came out a little weak, but then they were able to stuff the run. Now, Ezekiel Elliott and this offensive line is a different animal. But the Giants did add Leonard Williams, a guy that should help in that. And the Giants front line with Leonard Williams, an experienced player, Dexter Lawrence, who is the 4th highest graded rookie in football per PFF, and Dalvin Tomlinson, who I think is probably the most impressive guy on that front line so far this year. That guy is getting a push every single game, and he's got 2 sacks from the nose tackle position. That front 3 could cause some damage. And if they can stuff Ezekiel Elliott and force Dak to throw on third and 6, 3rd and 7, I think this Giants defense could have more success on 3rd and longs than they've had in the previous weeks. Because news for you, Dak Prescott is not Matthew Stafford. He's just not. If they get into 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, we'll be in trouble all game. Because then you got the dual threat of Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott. You know, the RPO, Prescott could throw a short route to Jason Witten, things of that nature. It opens up the whole playbook. It's the same story every time we play this team. It just is. I don't need to go over all the numbers. We know they got a strong defense. We know they like to run the football. And Daniel Jones is going to have to come out there, and he has to hold on to the football. They have 10 fumbles lost this year. It leads the league. Cannot happen. If the Giants want any chance in this football game, they have to win the turnover battle. And they have to beat the Cowboys at their own game. Get out to the early lead. This team does not like to play from behind. I don't know their numbers this year, but I know last year they only won one game out of, I think, 8. I think they were 1-7 or 1-6. They were 1-6 in games in which they trailed at the half. They were 9-0 in games in which they led at the half. This team does not like to play from behind. Get out to an early lead. Make Dallas have to catch up. Dak Prescott doesn't want to have to play catch up. They don't want to put the ball in Dak Prescott's hands if they're smart. The way they win football games is jamming the ball down your throat. I don't care what Prescott's numbers say. I don't care what the passing yards say. That's the strength of this football team. And if we could stop Zeke, we can beat this football team. And yeah, the win's not going to mean anything in terms of the playoffs more than likely. It'll give us a little more hope for another week. But it will be a big boost for Daniel Jones and a big confidence booster for this football team going forward. It's a young team, and they can use all the victories they can get. I'm looking for this defense to show out this Monday night rather. Show up. I'm not expecting you to have a flawless performance, but get after the quarterback and do your best at stuff in the run. And you give the Giants a chance to win this game. I don't believe in this Dallas defense. I'm not saying it's bad. It's certainly good. But I don't think they're as good as people are making them out to be at the beginning of the year. I just don't. And I don't care what the numbers say. I really don't. Numbers say they're the 8th best defense in terms of yards, 7th in terms of points. Who have you played? You haven't played great offenses. I think the Giants can put up points on this defense. And I think the Giants, if they can score in the low 20s, mid-20s, they stand a chance to win this football game. And people may call me crazy. I think the Giants have a real chance to win it. I really do. It's going to come down to Barkley. It's going to come down to using Barkley. They have to keep up what they've been doing last week. They have to keep opening up the playbook. Get into I formation. Run the football. Open up the play-action rollout. Use the RPO to your advantage. That's what the Giants have to do in this game, and take deep shots down the field with Darius Slayton when the time calls for it. But I think there will be openings in this game for the Giants to strike if they guess right. And you know what? I'm going to pick the Giants to win this game. People may call me crazy. I picked against the Giants most weeks this year. Something tells me this game, the Giants are going to come out and they're going to catch the Dallas Cowboys. They are due to beat this team. And being at home, I think Daniel Jones comes out a little extra motivated, and I think the Giants run the ball down their throat, and I think the Giants get out of there with a win. I'm going to have it Giants 24, Dallas 21. I'm looking forward to seeing how it all plays out. Of course, I didn't have all these numbers to go over. We know this team, guys. We know what they do. They know what we do. But I think we have a really good chance to win this football game on Monday night. I really do. I'm looking forward to it. Cannot wait to call it. And as always, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe. Drop a comment. Maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.